Hey there. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the idea of what I call the three I's. Now, the three I's basically is, I guess a lot of time we as creative individuals, we may not be creative in the sense that we are the ones who draw or the ones that paint or make jewelry, for example. We're not the kind of creative people. We don't express our creativity in that manner, but we express our creativity in terms of looking at solutions and using that solution as a way to turn it into a business, for example. And so the key idea with that is that a lot of time when we look at that, we tend to look inwards rather than look outwards. Now, what do I mean by that? What I meant by that is that when we have a solution, and being creative, being creatives, I think the curse of it is that when we think we have a solution, we think that this is the best solution of all, and that everyone should be using that solution. Well, it's good to have that level of confidence, but there is a difference between self-confidence and grandiosity. So in the book by Dale Carnegie Training, it says that ways to make yourself unforgettable. One of the things is to be able to distinguish between confidence and grandiosity. Now, so what's the difference? The difference is that if you are creative and you come up with a creative solution, by being grandiose, by being grandiose, you would think that this is the best solution ever and everyone should use that solution. But by having self-confidence, what you do is that you actually look at that solution and then you ask yourself the three I's. The first I is that you ask yourself, what inspired you to come up with that solution? Was that a problem that you were trying to solve? Was there a wrong that you want to right? Was there something that you want to bring justice to, for example, in the most altruistic sense? So the first I is to ask yourself, what inspired you to come up with that solution? So the inspiration could be, because I have seen people struggling with that problem, or I myself have experienced that problem before. So sometimes, for example, when I speak to insurance agents, invariably I would ask them this question: what got you into the insurance market? And some of them would tell me that, well, I'm in it because it was a good opportunity. I'm able to make money for myself, and yet I have a great product to sell that kind of help people. But then there are that few that would say that, well, Melvin, when I was growing up, I was 7 and my father passed away, and we were very poor. We weren't able to kind of afford the medical treatment, because if we could have afforded the medical treatment, he might still be alive here today. And Melvin, my dad died when I was 7, and my mom had to do 2 jobs to kind of support me and my brother, put them to school. And later on in life, I found out that there is such a thing called insurance. And if you have bought insurance, if my dad had bought insurance at a point in time, he would be able to take the money from the insurance payout to kind of go through the medical treatment, or he might be able to use that, or even if medical treatment was not possible, the family would not have to struggle that much in terms of finances. And that's why I went into insurance. So you see, he had a solution that which was, in the event that you should suffer an emergency and you need funds, there is that someone there to kind of give you that fund. That was his solution. But he was inspired to get into that market, or he was inspired to go into the profession because he had a story to tell, or he saw that it could be maybe it wasn't him, or maybe it could be his someone in his family, his extended family, or a close friend where he saw that this happened. So a lot of time, what I ask many of my friends as I am talking to solopreneurs is that it's great that you have come up with a solution, but what inspired you to come up with a solution? You got to think deeper than that. And more importantly, if you're able to think of that solution from the perspective of the people whom could benefit from it, all right? So you want to be customer centered, you want to be human centered, and instead of just looking at the solution itself. So that's the first one. That's the first I. So once you have that solution in your mind, you want to ask yourself, what inspired you to come up with that solution? Next, you want to ideate. And ideate means that you want to come up with ways and means to kind of get this solution out to people, get them to try it. So for example, if your solution, it is so great that you need people to kind of pick it up and use it for a month, because once they have experienced that, they will then be able to really benefit from it and know what difference it makes. Then if that is the case, then are you able to offer a 30-day trial or even a 40-day trial, for example? Or perhaps if, like for example, in my case, when I started out as a consultant, one of the things that I was doing was I was trying to get people to engage me. But the problem I faced was that I had no track record, and so people found it difficult to say that, yes, I want to engage you. And so what I did was I looked at ways of, can I offer a service that is of great value to my potential customer first, yeah, at no charge, and then have them experience me, my work ethics, and the value that I can bring to their company or their organization. And once I'm able to do that, they will then be able to engage me. They will able to know that they want to work with me. So the second I is ideate. What are some unique ways that you could get to get people to want to try your product? All right, or a third example that I can give you is, for instance, Dropbox. Now, Dropbox had a very innovative way of trying to get you to refer another person to use Dropbox. How? By you referring someone else who sign up for Dropbox, both you and the other person will get extra space, and you get to keep that space as long as you have an active Dropbox account. Doesn't have to be paid, but as long as it's active. So it kind of benefits both of you, that you will want to send out to someone because you are incentivized by, if someone else sign up through your link, you get the additional space, and it also incentivize the other person to want to sign up as well, because if the other person signs up, the person gets extra space as opposed to signing up, on his or her own. So the second I is basically the ideation part. Think of innovative, creative ways that you can come up with to get people to want to use your product. And the third I basically is the one that kind of sets, us apart, the successful ones apart from the non-successful one. And the third I is to implement. Now, in the implementation, this is where you want to try things out. You want to say, okay, now that I have come up with an idea, I have the inspiration of why the idea, what kind of problems the idea would solve. I've come up with innovative ways of trying to get people to use my product or my service. Now I have actually got to implement it. So you got to take action. You got to put it into action. You got to put it out. Yeah. And so the implementation part is really a series of steps. You want to put it out, but do you want to put it out just, out in the wild, or you want to perhaps think of it this way? You want to gather like maybe 10 or 20 people that you can share this first version of the service with. You get them to try it, and then you get them to give you feedback. Once they have given you feedback, you would then be able to iterate from there. You're able to improve upon that and then you can kind of put it out as a second version. And through that second version, this is where you want to tell this first 10 people, look, if you go out there and you kind of give your word of mouth, give your endorsement, this is what you will be incentivized with, and this is what the people who sign up through you, will also be incentivized in a particular manner. So this is the part where you really want to think of, implementing it. And of course, to help you implement it, you also want to look at, what are some things that you must do in terms of the processes you want to put in place so that that implementation can actually get out. All right, so these are the 3 I's, the inspiration, the ideation, as well as the implementation. Hope this was of value to you, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.